Haley Welch, better known as the Hawk Tuah Girl, once seemed unstoppable. She skyrocketed to fame with a single brash comment in a street interview, monetized her meme into successful merch, and amassed fans who couldn't get enough of her off-the-cuff vibe. But in a turn of events that feels stranger than fiction, Haley's empire is collapsing faster than anyone expected. Hi, I'm Trendwatch, and today we will be diving into the unexpected downfall of the Hawk Tuah Girl. It all started with a viral moment that drew in millions of supporters. Within days, she was flaunting new merch lines and batting away potential brand deals as if she were a seasoned pro. Yet behind the scenes, Haley was making moves that would eventually come back to haunt her, from questionable crypto promotions to a bizarre attempt at image rehab. And now, after months of near silence and mounting backlash, she's returned only to discover the internet hasn't forgotten her alleged wrongdoings. In this deep dive, we'll uncover the story of how Haley lost the trust of her once devoted fanbase. From playing the victim on a leaked FaZe Banks podcast to confronting CoffeeZilla's scathing accusations, Haley has been scrambling to salvage what remains of her reputation. Just a short while ago, Haley Welch was a nobody in Nashville, Tennessee. A small YouTube channel approached her on a night out, cameras rolling, to ask random questions like, "How do you get over a breakup?" Fueled by a few drinks, Haley's raw personality and brash sense of humor shone through. The moment that changed her life was a single line about giving men a certain hawk tea treat, an answer so unexpectedly funny it blew up on every social platform. Suddenly, her catchphrase was plastered everywhere. She was the trending topic on TikTok, with fans praising her boldness, calling her a national treasure. Within days, she had an entire catalog of hats, shirts, and hoodies emblazoned with her new iconic phrase. Rolling Stone even reported that she sold thousands of dollars worth of merchandise in a matter of days. It seemed like a fairy tale ascent, until cracks began to form. Some observers warned that her rapid monetization was a sign that Haley was less about authenticity and more about profits. Those whispers grew louder as she revealed partnerships, hired a management team, and started charging thousands just for personal appearances. If there was money to be made, Haley Welch wanted in. Fans were still cheering her on, but a small group started asking, how far will she go to cash in on this meme? The answer arrived when Haley decided to wade into the wild world of cryptocurrency. Specifically, she announced Hawk, her own meme coin. She teased fans with the promise of giveaways and boasted about how the token could unite her community. For a brief moment, excitement soared. Many supporters saw it as just another fun way to engage with the Hawk Tuah brand. But the euphoria didn't last. As soon as CoffeeZilla caught wind of Haley's cryptic claims and uncertain tokenomics, he launched a public inquiry. He labeled the coin's launch one of the worst he'd ever seen, citing suspiciously large allocations in a handful of wallets and vague outlines about who was in charge. While some fans still believed Haley wouldn't scam them, others began to suspect a scheme was unfolding. Then, like a magician dropping a smoke bomb, Haley vanished. No more chirpy social media updates or fiery new merch announcements. Paparazzi staked out her home to find only her concerned grandfather on the porch. Where is Haley Welch? Became the question of the day, while fans wondered if the rumored lawsuits might be serious enough to keep her hiding. Finally, a flicker of Haley surfaced in a leaked episode of her Hawk Tuah podcast, featuring FaZe Banks and two crypto specialists. This interview was meant to be her grand redemption arc, a chance to set the record straight and show she'd learned from her alleged crypto fiasco. Right away, though, it took a bizarre turn. Less than 5 minutes in, Haley paused to deliver a full-blown sponsor segment for a ticketing company, prompting fans to question if her priority was making amends or making money. Throughout the discussion, Haley insisted she was yet another victim, an inexperienced influencer who naively trusted the wrong people. FaZe's team, trying to remain neutral, asked pointed questions. Would Haley consider rebuying the tokens she sold and locking them away to reimburse scammed fans? Rather than seizing this chance at redemption, Haley and her team danced around the idea, promising only that they were trying to do right. Behind the scenes, many suspected she still had an eye on easy profits. In fact, the coin's volume mysteriously spiked around the same time her team teased the interview, leading FaZe Banks to condemn the situation, claiming his conditions for releasing the podcast included not manipulating the market. That condition, he revealed, was evidently broken, and the entire fiasco blew up again. On the surface, Haley painted herself as a clueless newcomer who'd barely earned a cent. She pinned much of the blame on her developer, Doc Hollywood, while calling CoffeeZilla a scary guy. But leaked chats and documents suggest she stood to gain far more than the small cut she publicly claimed. One communication from Doc Hollywood referenced a potential 50-50 split on net proceeds, implying Haley could have profited well into 7 figures. CoffeeZilla dug deeper, pressing Haley's lawyer for the full contract. Repeatedly, they promised transparency, yet withheld actual proof of their agreements. The resulting contradiction was glaring. If Haley was truly an uninformed bystander, why was there documentation indicating she was owed a large percentage of the entire token sale? Why was she also allegedly entitled to a share of the millions raised from the pre-sale? An even bigger twist arrived when the SEC initially examined Haley's role, but ultimately decided to drop all charges. Legally, she was off the hook. Morally, fans questioned why she seemed uninterested in reimbursing those who lost real money, unless it was to avoid potential criminal liability. One statement from her lawyer boasted that the SEC's closure of the investigation signified Haley could return to crypto or securities if she wished. Unsurprisingly, critics saw it less as exoneration and more as a lucky break. Emboldened by the absence of legal shackles, Haley decided to come back swinging. She lined up a blockbuster guest for the next Hawk Tuah podcast. KSI, one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. It was her golden ticket, a chance to sway public perception, reintroduce herself to fans, and maybe gain new supporters from KSI's massive audience. To viewers' dismay, the interview was a cringe-worthy letdown. Haley and her co-host seemed only vaguely familiar with KSI's background, stumbling over basic questions that a quick internet search would have revealed. KSI remained polite and chatty, but the awkwardness was palpable. Critics lit up the comment section, blasting Haley for failing to research her own high-profile guest. Many saw it as yet another example of her half-hearted approach, less interested in substance than clinging to the last shreds of her fame. Worse still, the segment performed poorly. Thumbs-down reactions eclipsed positive ones, and the general consensus was that Haley had squandered a prime opportunity for a legitimate comeback. As the negative press piled up, Haley tried forging ahead with more Hawk Tuah episodes. Yet each new upload garnered diminishing engagement, with many fans writing scathing remarks about how she got greedy and duped her supporters for a quick buck. Some joked she'd end up launching an account with the white and blue website just to stay relevant. Others insisted her downfall was a textbook lesson in how not to handle viral celebrity. Still, rumors swirl that producers are eyeing her story for a documentary, either as a cautionary tale of influencer mania or as comedic relief about how quickly an internet star can fade. Haley's name occasionally appears in cameo gossip, suggesting she might pop up on a TV show or appear in a new content project. But audience skepticism is at an all-time high, and many question whether any redemption arc is possible without Haley sincerely addressing the financial losses fans incurred. After all, the internet seldom offers a second chance to those who appear to exploit their followers for personal gain, and Haley hasn't exactly shown a willingness to prove otherwise. Instead, she keeps leaning on tearful pleas and shifting blame, hoping something will stick. In under a year, Haley Welch's story went from cheerful viral sensation to a mounting pile of allegations and controversies. She had everything an influencer could want: a memorable catchphrase, adoring fans, and lucrative opportunities. Yet in chasing bigger and faster paychecks, she alienated the very audience that put her in the spotlight in the first place. Her latest attempts at a comeback, from the leaked Phase interview to the KSI episode, only fuel the perception that Haley is more interested in salvaging her personal brand than truly reconciling with those who feel betrayed. Legal troubles may have evaporated, but the court of public opinion is a tougher judge, one that demands authenticity. Whether Haley can find that authenticity or continue doubling down on denial remains an open-ended question. Will she face any long-term fallout beyond a dwindling fan base and negative comments? Time will tell. For now, her social stats are plummeting, and the internet's patience for influencer-led crypto fiascos has worn thin. Haley's experience is a stark reminder that viral fame is fragile at best. One day the world is chanting your name, the next you're left fighting to justify every move you've made. And so we leave off with a challenge. When faced with a viral star promising big gains and easy wins, can you trust them? Or does Haley Welch's story stand as a warning that behind the memes and merch, there might lurk opportunism waiting to capitalize on your belief? Ultimately, the choice is yours. But if Haley's cautionary tale teaches us anything, it's that internet fame is fleeting, and often it comes with a price few are ready to pay.